Anyways, welcome to the MungalowCroonings show. For the first time, we are bang on time on the MungalowCroonings show with Abi and friends. Hello, people. It's your girl. It's your girl. Hey, honestly, I've been sleeping like a cat. You know, there's this saying in my native language, "Onsun bi pe adìẹ ẹyin fọmọnú adìẹ," or "Onsun bi adìẹ tẹyin fọnú ẹ." Basically, there's this belief that if a hen, the egg cracks before she's able to lay the egg, that she starts to walk around like she's dozing. So when someone is having little cat naps up and down, you hear people say, "Oh, she's sleeping like as if she's a hen with a broken egg inside." Yeah, I know it's crazy, but yeah, that's the way I've been sort of dozing today. I don't know. I can't seem to find Ronald, so it's me today. Hi, I'm tired. Okay, so what happened today? Today, nothing. To be honest, there was really nothing. Ronald is here. Let me add Ronald on. There was really nothing today because I had a bit of a late night. Like, well, when I say bit, I had a very late night. I couldn't sleep. You see? And then I had to go to work to the radio station today, which I eventually did. And I finished at radio station, which is very unlike me. Normally, I'll try and find time to go to the local Morrison's, pick up some bread or something. But I was just not in the mood for it. I was so tired. I just called a taxi and I came home. And Shima wasn't around in the store, although I did stop round to say hi to Alan and I got some oxtail. Oh my god, so delicious. So delicious. A friend of mine showed me a small clip of this tureen. That's all I can call it. It has to be a tureen, like a boat of crab, lobster, everything. Hey, I was virtually licking my screen. I actually used that food to dream. Also jealous. So, anyways, nothing. Then my carer came round. I really like my carer. And I have blackberries in my garden, so I had picked like a big bowl of blackberries, but I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to eat it. So I just split it in half and gave her half. And she was like, yeah, she's gonna have this with yogurt and that kind of thing. So that's nice because I'm gonna have mine with yogurt too later on tonight. That's what I'm gonna have for dinner. Yogurt with some blackberry, and the blackberry is so sweet because they're very, very small. They're not the big ones you see in the stores. So they're small blackberries, they're very sweet. Put in natural yogurt, a little drizzle of honey, throw in some granola, some nuts. Oh, bliss. So yes, that's where it is. And Ron specifically told me, do not sing. And I said, well, yeah. So Ron, hey, what's up, dude?
Hi, I'm fine.
What's up, Grandpa? I'm started calling him Grandpa now because he's doing like old man.
Why?
Yeah, now you're behaving like an old man, so you're now Grandpa. Grandpa Ron.
I have to be serious with the show now.
Now,
I
wow,
have to be
it is
serious with
fair.
the show.
The Lord is your muzzle. So tell me, have you seen The Return of the King, King of Boys? I'm sure you've heard
I
the
was
whole
planning to
noise
see
about it.
it. I was planning to watch it sometime during the week. I don't know. I don't even know if it's out. I just saw the
It's
adverts
out. Well, I don't know that
everywhere.
it's out in South Africa. Dude, you know why I
Is it?
did?
Is it
I
on
first
next
saw
next week?
Netflix.
Next?
I first all
Oh,
went
okay.
and watched King of Boys first. So I went back because I've seen King of Boys and I went and watched it from top to bottom. had chills. Yeah. Then I just went
Uh,
straight into the Return of the King of Boys. Hey, I mean, first of all, it throws you, the whole series thing. You're like, what's going on here? Why is it in series? But I watched that thing 4 a.m. My eyes were like this. I was watching King of Boys. And a lot of people, like they'll watch it like the last episode. A lot of people missed out on the end because the film doesn't end when it ends, then they put the cast. It actually ends after credits. So if when you watch it, when you get to the very last episode of the return, make sure you watch after the credit. Like Marvel films, just make sure you watch after the credit, because that's when the gang, like a lot of loose ends become like sort of tied up. But obviously it looks like there's going to be a season 2 of the Return of the King, because there's still so many gaps in the stories. But since you haven't watched it, I don't want to do any spoilers. But hey,
then,
let me just say,
okay, I haven't seen the two. I've watched the one, so I think I'll just follow up.
yeah. But for me, I watched the one again and then I watched the two. So I dedicated about, only God knows how many hours it was, because the first one is about 2.5 hours, and then the second one too is about 2.5 to 3 hours. So that's roughly about maybe 5 6 hours I dedicated to watching King of Boys. But you know what? It was worth it. I had the pop. Oh, I didn't have popcorn. I had chips with crisp with salsa. I had some coconut water. Well, all healthy stuff. But I enjoyed watching. It was very nice. But I will tell you this for free. The same thing I said when I watched one, and I still hold true to it. If I ever bump into Makanaki, the way I will run, hey, in fact, if I sight him, like, I will just, when they say you rambadouts, not roundabout, though, you rambadouts. I'll just rambadouts. I'll go back to wherever I'm coming from, go on my knees, cover myself, and be praying, God, please don't let him know the road to my house. That guy gives me frostbite. Not this one has gone past chills. It is frostbite. Hey, nah, man. And to think that there are some people on this earth who are just as nasty. Nah. Mm-mm. So, anyways,
You
you are
find
going to
there are
have
always going to be bad people now. There's always going to be bad people. So you really can't run away from it.
but when you think about the fact that, is this how Nigeria is being run right now? Like, they are power lords and everything, and the rest of us are just
It's
walking around like
everywhere.
we don't know
No,
what's
no.
going on.
It's everywhere. Even in the UK where you are, it's
I know now it's
everywhere.
everywhere, but you just want to
That's
believe
why they
that.
call them the underworld bosses or underworld lords. It's
But
an
let me tell you
underworld.
something. Let me tell you something. Amongst the Yorubas, there's this thing called Omoluabi. There's this code of ethics called Omoluabi, which basically is like a person that is brought up properly, that has good manners, that is conscious of other people, the society, and it is the belief is that everybody walks around with a sense of Omoluabi. That wherever you go, whatever you're doing, you have that sense of know whose child you are, know whose family you represent, know the impact you leave in the world. And then to find that within the Yoruba states, because King of Boys is set in Lagos, which is a Yoruba state, although it accommodates everybody, is like London or Manchester. But you
Yeah,
would
it's
think
still a
that
university.
amongst the people who are speaking this Yoruba, that sense of Omoluabi will be prevalent. They inside that film. Omoluabi traveled, in fact, did not travel, he was booted out, locked up, bad. Omoluabi was nowhere to be found. Anyways, we already have someone looking in and leaving us a comment, and this is Timothy Izibenikian. I try not to say his surname, but Timo, hi now, and he said, "God bless you, ma'am." Well, Ron is going to be jealous because he'll be like, "Eh, is it only Abi that is there?" So I'm sure he's
Oh,
saying
but
God bless you for
my
Thomas.
fans will come later
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Oh, your fans are coming. Sorry, you're no vex. So, anyways, what are we talking about today? We're talking about run, go.
It's marriage for everyone.
Hey, was that your sexy voice? It needs
No,
work.
I was just being.
My my own voice is deeper than your sexy voice.
It's marriage for everyone.
He's married
Stay
for
tuned
everyone.
for the next episode.
Do you know how many, I can't even count how many times I've spoken to people on the phone, especially like if I've woken up in the morning. Because and you've heard me speak in the morning and you're like, what happened to your voice? Because when I wake up, my voice becomes super deep. Like, hello, who's there? What are you up to? That kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
know that voice.
My voice is
I know that
and many
voice.
times they'll be like, good morning, sir. And I'm like, good morning. Because I just feel there's no point saying I'm not a sir. So I just go, good morning, how may I help you? Like, oh, we're just calling it. Well, thank you very much, but I don't want to talk about that this morning. Thank you. And then roughly an hour later, you're not here. Hello.
Especially when these auto ads, these automated ads, wake you up. Hello,
They are super annoying.
you've been selected to win 1,000 blah 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 and a blah
I
blah
don't I
blah blah
don't
blah blah.
want I don't want your selection. Leave me alone. Thank you.
I just go boop.
Oh, there was in fact, it wasn't a day. I was in a mood. I was in a funky place in my head. And every single person who was calling to offer one thing or to say, oh, I had a lot of, have you had an accident? And it's crazy because I had an accident with a car, but I wasn't hurt, but I was in the car when he sort of bashed into someone else. And for the next week, I was just getting phone calls on, have you been in an accident? I was like, am I being bugged? I was not feeling like Will
Did you
Smith in
fill
that
out a
film.
report? Did you fill out a
No, I
report,
didn't
either
fill out
police or?
nothing. That's the thing. I didn't fill out
That's
nothing.
strange.
They just talked. I sat in the car. They finished talking. Person got into the car, drove off. I was not involved in any way, shape, or form. And yet the following week, oh, have you been involved in an accident? I was like, have I been bugged? I was not feeling like Will Smith in that film where even his buttons, everything was bugged, and
Oh,
he
okay. That's an old
forgot
movie. I'm trying
what
to
the
even
film.
remember the
He
title.
practically stripped naked. I was like, So at a point in time when they were now calling, I'll be like, hey, me, accident. Me no get accident. then the lady will be like, no, I'm not saying she's trying to say, I'll be like, oh, hold on, accident. I was in a mood.
You're just trying to annoy them.
I'm telling you, like, since you're calling to annoy me, I'm going to annoy you too. The way they were dropping that call, like, bang, 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 it was miraculous. So, anyways, let's go back to the topic. God, I'm not gonna lie. My body is not my own today. I don't even know how I'm sitting up. I don't know, but I'm sitting up somehow.
Yeah, yeah. If you didn't say so, no one would have known.
I'm in pain. I
Ele,
just want to show off my pillows again. My pillow again. I love this pillow. Die. Isn't
you
it the
actually
cutest?
meant to make a what they call it, a plastic bag for it, a zip plastic bag. Because if
Oh,
you
really?
allow it to get dirty a couple of times, the more you wash them, the more it fades up.
Where will I find plastic bag for it?
Um, like those bags that come with blankets.
Oh, I had
Those,
one and I threw it away. Oh,
yeah, like those transparent bags. You zip it
okay.
up.
I'll go and look for
If
it. I'll go and look for one
Yeah.
again.
So after the show, you put it back in the bag.
No, I just leave it in the plastic like that. You know how our grandmothers will leave plastic on the cushion and on the sofa.
Push it on mattress.
Right,
Mattress.
and they only take it down when very important guests are coming. After that, they'll put it back on.
Are you trying to say you haven't been to some people's houses where the TV they bought like 15 years ago still has the sticker on
Is a
on the screen?
lie. Wait, let me see. Does mine have? Let me look. Oh. Before I can say it's a lie, then I say that my own has sticker. Because
The sticker is still on.
I'm terrible with taking things off. I just leave things. I just be like, beg, let it be. Like, look at this
Yeah,
selfie.
one day I was so some years back I was so forward.
Look at this one that I
I-
bought. This selfie stick, and
Okay,
I'm not taking anything off. It's just been as it is.
because you're not using it yet.
Yes, I really should because I want to use it for filming my cards thing. Because this one is set up for Mungalows. Anyways, so what brought about the topic? Sorry, you were about to say something and I cut in. Sorry, forgive me. What were you about
Yeah,
to
about
say?
marriage, right?
No, no, no. You were about to say something about stickers.
Yeah, there's one time I was still young. I went to this friend's house. He had this sticker on his TV. I know me being a very forward person. I just went there, and I'm like, "What? What's the sticker still doing on the screen?" So
Then
I
you just
just
leave
took
it
it
to
off.
yourself. Hey,
I just took off the sticker. It was as if I cut off the red wire in the circuit of the TV. This
because
guy
I'm like,
was, this guy was like, oh God, the depression I saw in him, like the sadness. I just wished I had never touched it. It's not like he was shouting and yelling, but you can just see he was just not happy.
like he was regretting why he opened the door when you knocked.
Oh my goodness. Even me, I felt very really bad. I felt
Like,
really
but
bad for even
why would
touching.
you go to someone's house and go and be removing sticker
I
from
don't know who sent me. Oh, I was always a forward young person. I don't know who sent me.
apropos
It's not
apropos
even that I
child?
was always. I've even done it as recently as 7 years ago. We're at church. Somebody bought this nice new suit. You know that when you buy this suit, they come with these sleeve tags that you're meant to
Mm-hmm.
take off.
Mm.
So I had this friend. I think that must have been one of the first times in his life he has ever worn a suit. So
Oh, he
as we
went to
were
borrow
just
the suit. I was planning on returning it,
no,
JJ.
no, no. I wasn't borrowing it. I just saw it looked nice and everything, but that sleeve tag was the problem. So I decided to
For
help him.
you.
As far as he was concerned, I had ruined his suit.
Of course
And
now,
he bought it
because
like
the poor guy planned to return it back. And he went
no, he already bought it. The point is this. He thought it was part of the suit accessory. So I had to lecture him and explain to him. Then I had
Mr.
to
Man,
take
he
him.
just gave you that fable. He only look, do you know how many people go and buy dresses, wear it to weddings, they take it back the following Monday and say, oh, it didn't fit, and they collect their money back. So they'll go and buy one expensive dress that will look knockout. They'll wear it to the wedding. Then on Monday, they'll take it back to the store. It didn't fit properly. And you know UK now, they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll give you back your money. Meanwhile, don't go rock party.
But
So
guys hardly do that. It's usually a
no,
ladies thing now.
says who that guys don't do it. Guys and girls do it. If they are all fashion conscious and all that stuff, and they don't have money, they'll go and borrow clothes. Then they are the ones that you see that when they are drinking, they will have straw in their wine because they don't want to spill anything. They don't want people to be around them. They'll always want to be aloof because if you stain that cloth, 200 pounds, they go back for you. So please try and stay away from people's stickers. Leave their stickers alone.
No, I'm stop after trying to enlighten him. I thought he got the message. I didn't know he was
Thank
still
you,
sad.
Mr. Enlightener.
I didn't know he was still sad. It took him like 2 years later.
Because
It's
he
like two
planned
years
to
ago.
return the suits.
No, 2 years back, 2 years ago, he came to meet me. He just said, "Oh, that he's sorry for the way he reacted." I said, "What happened? I even forgotten about it." He said he just realized that it's not meant to be on the sleeve. I said, "So all the time I spent like 30 minutes explaining this thing to you, you didn't get it."
I don't believe it. You serene. I don't believe that. Oh, I just realized that it was not part.
You didn't
Bleh.
know. We don't return. No, here we don't do that. Like here, you can return clothes in South Africa, right? But
Mm.
mostly guys don't do it. I know a lot of ladies do, but guys, he's capable. Like he has the money to
You
buy it.
don't do it. Don't vouch for someone else. Oh, don't vouch for someone else because you
Well,
don't do it
it's
doesn't mean that other guys don't do it.
well, I I he still wears
Please,
it, but
the man that Ron took the tag off his suit. In case you're watching this thing, please come and talk to me privately. Confess. I will be your bishop.
no, he
Come
has
and
learned
confess.
now.
Hey, excuse me, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. Come, I'll be your bishop. Come and confess to me.
He has learned.
Okay, so is marriage for everyone? That is the $1 million question.
Mm, Let's see.
And of course, you know what my answer is.
Well, I'm sure for the first time we will start on the same note because the truth is this: marriage is not meant for everybody.
I don't even. Who
It's
do I call? Who do I
it's
call?
really.
Who
If
do I
let me
call?
even let me even surprise you more. Like if I had my way, if I were to be the ruler of the world, I'll
Mm,
make sure there's a psychiatric and psychological evaluation for every intending couple.
mm,
Like before you get married, I'm not even talking about marriage counseling again. Oh. I'm
mm.
like, I need to psychoanalyze you. When I see that you're too independent minded, or
Ah,
what's the word? What's the word for those people that those people that think in the line
misandrists.
misandry? Yeah. If I see that you're in that line of, if you're in that state of
This
mind,
is
like you
Ron's
know what?
favorite word now. This is his new
I just say,
favorite
if you're
word.
into
And
misandry, please, please, and please, don't waste somebody's time. If you know you're too proud, if I say that you're too proud, I'll tell you, please don't even try it. If I know you're
after how many
unforgiving,
weeks of educating you that feminists do not hate men, you finally now have found your word, your favorite new word, misandrist.
I'm just trying to be politically correct. Is it
I
that what
know, but
that is it that what you
women
want?
who hate men are misandrists. They're not feminists. They are misandrists.
I think you have
Feminists
to,
don't hate
yeah,
men.
you have to start another program just to educate the toxic feminist. Anyway, so
They're not. There's nothing
so
like toxic feminists. It's either misandrists or the. So misandrists sometimes people mistake them for feminists. They are not feminists.
okay,
There's
so
no way feminism and toxic can be in the same sentence.
so
It's like
all the man hating feminists, they are actually misandrists.
they're
Is
not
that
there. Yeah,
the
because they're
noun
not
form of it?
feminists.
Okay,
They're misandrists.
okay. So
Okay,
again,
let me
I'll
let
check.
her be on so that you not.
Okay, just add. I'll continue.
Okay. Hey,
Hello,
Abby.
Abby. Why are you looking
So
too
nice to
fresh?
see you.
Oh, maybe because I was very prepared.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see you. I see you.
I see.
So,
How
so
are
like
you?
I
How
was
was your
saying,
day?
It wasn't bad at all. I'm on holiday, so I'm back in
seeing somebody
Manchester.
looking like this, you're still asking her how her day was. You
I'm back
can't
Yeah,
in
you see it?
Manchester.
let her use her mouth and talk now.
Back in
Can't you even
Manchester.
see it on her face?
Oh
I'm back
my
in
God. Can you
Manchester.
let her talk, please?
Okay, okay, okay.
In Manchester. I missed Manchester. I came back on Sunday, and yes, I'm here just to back so on holiday. So maybe that's what I'm looking for. Maybe.
Okay, and your biggest fan is actually, I'm about to add him, although I'm waiting for him to finish what is in his mouth because I can see him, he's eating. Okay, he's wiping his mouth, he's clearing his face, he's making himself look very handsome for you.
Must you? Must you?
Okay, he's stretching himself, he's stretching himself. I can see
uh-uh.
him, but you guys can't see him.
Which kind of monitoring
Okay, let
spirit
me
is
add him
this?
on. But before I add you, just note that if you come and flirt with Abby here, we are going to have problems.
Put on flex with you. Put on flex with you. Put on flex with you.
Oh.
Can't talk him now, just in case there's one.
I guess
sister
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who can see that Abi is looking like extraordinarily fine today.
No, because I made effort actually. I made a bit of effort. I I didn't rub my face.
In fact, the show is beginning to look like there's money coming in that they are sharing.
That's my fear. People will start asking me for what I don't have.
People will think that we are sharing money.
They're sharing
because everybody is starting to look super fresh.
This money that we are all sharing. It's okay.
No, because okay, let me tell you why I'm looking for it. Because I'm representing a lot of people. I'm representing an NGO. I'm representing women. I'm representing mothers. I'm representing working mothers.
No, Miss Andrew. No, Miss Andrew.
It's not a Miss Andrew.
I'm also representing a Dangote. What's that English now? I'm looking for better English. Dangote
seeking
candidates,
presenting self.
The spirit knows that I'm looking forward to meeting Dangote. So I'm very hopeful.
The day you meet that Dangote, we will not rest.
I thought
you will press our neck.
We're going to do everything possible to bring him on the show.
I'm very hopeful.
You want to bring Dangote on the show? Make sure that you collect money from him when you bring him on, so that people will say, hey, Dangote was on your show. And I'm asking you for 50 pounds.
This is when you now know that I can be in love. This is when people will know that I am a loving person. I'll just be blushing. I won't be able to talk. You know those you do all this puppy love in school now. I'll just be blushing.
We can send it to an interview. He's a very friendly person.
You know what? Because we are planning later on to actually start having interviews with people on this show. So we're going to make Abi our correspondent to go and talk to Dangote.
I can't wait. Honestly,
she will not be able to say anything. She just be like,
wait. Let me say this. Peradventure somebody's watching this, and you know how I can connect. Now, to shock you a little bit, I have a friend that works in Dangote. She's very useless. I'm sure you are listening to this. She's very useless. She's not helping me to do this connection.
Imagine how can you have access to her boyfriend and you are not helping her? What kind of friend is that?
She said because Dangote is very busy, and I said I'm busy. I'm a busy person as well. I'm very busy. I'm a workaholic. Just like
him. Compare your busy to Dangote busy.
We are busy people together, and we have similar traits. So just in case you know, don't let her be distracted. Just send the message to her to say, give this to Abi. My own hobby with a name, okay? Abi, okay? More or less like a male name in Wales. And so, just in case you don't know, yeah, that's it.
Do I have anybody that I feel that sort of ways towards?
Wait, which sort of ways? Because I missed it while I was putting my headphone on. It looks like some serious talk was going down here.
Feeling, no, this is not a monthly love feeling. It's a serious business love.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, is there anyone I have that kind of intense, like if I saw him, I would be tongue-tied, that kind of thing. I don't think there is anyone.
It's not me. I thought it was me.
Shebi, you are using me to do shakara. I've abandoned you. What nonsense.
Look how flipping. You're just flip like this, like go.
Yes,
no, because how many months now I've been chasing him and he's using me to do shakara. He'll be telling me in my before that he plans to marry several other wives.
You know what you're doing to Kay? You are spoiling market. How can you see somebody like this and you're feeling good here? No. Come on.
See, this is the problem. See, there's a different part. There are 5 people inside Abi. They are, and I know all of them. It depends on which one. Depending on the time of the day, and one will come out, and in between, it will switch. You know.
Are you Gemini?
So, so you just have to. Oh, she's more than Gemini. In fact, Gemini derived this thing from her.
Hydra head.
Hydra. She gets special category. You know those kind of people that they born for February 29. They give them their own special this thing because they celebrate birthday once in 4 years. Any more, any more. You know. Now. For those who don't understand.
On a trip.
For those who understand, any more, more, let me interpret. For those who don't watch out, you know, person wey cross am, person wey cross am no know am. Person wey cross am no know am. Person wey know am no dey cross am. That's the meaning of any more.
Wait, have you watched King of Boys? Have you watched King of Boys?
I'm watching it now.
Because there's actually a part where she says, any more myoko, any mommy, any more myoko. I was like, oh my God.
It's you they were referring to.
I was like, I know that PK is going to be like, hey, this is Abi.
Now you. The writer had you in mind when they wrote that character.
Same height.
Now.
Exactly.
Same height.
In fact, Abi, you know what? Now we are the thinker to say you get the energy. Person for right script, make we do our own King of Boys for that London. It could be London setting. The only problem, the only problem there is that if Abi enter that character, she fit no come out for character. Come the wound people they go.
When
they say cut, when they say cut, you now discover say you don't go.
Okay, if
you trigger something where you know fit.
Okay, if I was gonna write, guess what part? You know, I'll just change it. You know how when it was what's her name now? What's her name in the movie?
Salami.
Yeah. When she was trying to feed the guy, I'll just change it to I'll be like, okay, this is meant to be a kissing movie, and from there, I'll just enter Abi.
Oh my goodness. Then people like us when they watch you just go, oh my goodness, Jesus.
Do that.
Jesus. No, but so if I'm going to recreate that pattern of King of Boys, right? Since there's already King of Boys, Abi's own will be based off of, that one is based off of power. Abi's own will be based off of love. You know, you see her fall in love. Then the guy will just do small things. She'll just switch, like Game of Thrones, just cut off the guy's head. Next, then
Ron, are you sitting there? They're maligning my character. Are you sitting there?
Okay, sorry.
Wonderful person that you are full.
Then you see,
very full of
then
love.
you see her. Yeah, you see her the next date. She'll be there. She'll be, she'll be all over the guy. The guy will just drop spoon for table. She'll just flip like that, chop the guy's hands off. But to make the character really complex, there will be always one. There will be one guy that has her soft spot all the time.
That would be you. All the time. You'll be able to play.
No, he's not usually a nice guy. It should be somebody that you're like, why hasn't she finished this guy off? It has to be like a complex sister. Why is it that this guy?
He's calling himself a nice guy. He's calling himself a nice guy. My best friend has come and she said that she's laughing. She said, ha ha ha. And she said, PK, please forgive Abi. That's what she said.
You know, I
thought we were at different time zones.
Now, character will talk. This person is coming.
I am so happy that she's on right now.
This character,
thank you so much for joining.
The beg for forgiveness. No beg for forgiveness. Now, just the character. Now, the Abi character within my head.
That's King of Love character.
In fact, the title will be any more or any more. So you cannot.
No, but wait. Mm-hmm. I'm a lovable character. I don't know why you're coming up with this whole chopping up of people's hands. I'm a lovable person.
It's at the end of the season is when they will know that there are 5 people inside that any more or any more.
Thank you for assassinating my character. God bless you.
Okay, and to show you how complicated that character is, after she chop up the guy's hand, she's the same one who will now be rushing into emergency, make them save him.
I was gonna say that.
Actually, I can actually do that. That's true.
This guy, he must not die. He's my heart of hearts. Sometimes when they ask the guy, what's he do? The guy he can't look Abi face, come the change story right there.
Exactly. He put his hand. I fell.
Yes, no. He will say his hand hits the knife. That there was a knife on the table and his hand went there and hit it. No, I write scripts in my head. That's what I do when I'm.
has finished me.
No, it's not you.
I will buy that movie. I will not even just watch it on Netflix. I will just buy it.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones. It's like a Game of Thrones based off of love.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
I will not watch.
Also, imagine
I'll make it an household thing, whereby I'll be able to.
You see, all those very crazy things that go on in people's minds, where around love, right? When the thing flips, we'll be portraying it. Like look at this Oibo guy now. He was loving then. Now he's telling me this kind of nonsense. Then he just pull his tongue out and cut it.
Ah. You know that you're making me out to be like I'm a psychopath. Please stop it.
No. It's not you. It's the character.
It's the character.
No, it's not you. That all the characters in Game of Thrones.
It's an interesting topic.
Please, can we leave the so-called game or whatever and face the topic that we take for?
Yes, let's enter the topic.
Okay, let me round up. I was speaking before we started joining.
Please run. Deliver me from the hands of my enemies.
Memoon is here. Hey. Welcome, madam.
Thanks for coming.
Finally.
John, thank you so much for joining us.
Another non. She's a
Bookie said she will buy the movie. Hey, now. Oh yeah, run, finish up. Deliver me from this. I said, aligns my character.
I said, okay. My first answer was no. Marriage is not meant for everyone. One. Two. If I were God, right, and I had the power to control, I will first things first. Anybody who intends to get married must come through me. I'll do a psychological analysis and a psychiatric one. I need to do a full set. Then the things I'm looking out for is one. If you're into misandry, that thing you taught me. Remember, if you're into misandry, no marriage. If you're into misogyny, like you can't handle women, you just can't stand them, no marriage. Sorry, who? Okay,
that's Kayode that's come up again. No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So again, if I notice you are not forgiving, that you don't have that tendency to forgive disqualified, I'll set certain rules just to make sure that whoever is going in knows what he's going for. It's not for it's not working, I'm going. No. We will set certain rules. By the time we set it, then I'll just create another category. Partners, life partners. Okay, you guys, you don't want to stay, you don't want...
Sorry, Ron. Can I ask a question? Are you talking about imaginary things now? Because
yes, imaginary.
If he had the
imaginary, if I was God. Yeah. If I was God, I'm just saying. So I'm trying to explain that it's actually not for everybody. Okay. Some people were born ready for it. Some people just don't have... In fact, it's not for you. You don't have to. Don't punish yourself. Don't stress yourself. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to take what you see. So the best thing is just stay from the corner, enjoy yourself, move on, and that's it. That's the way I see it too.
Okay. Well, we got John on, and we've also got Maymoon. So, John, can you please put on your video so that we can see you? Maymoon, what are your thoughts about this topic? Is marriage for everyone?
Well, I would say yes and no at the
Okay.
same time. I will say no because of the way we are handling it right now. Because I think that a lot of people don't know themselves, first of all, before they go into the marriage. And I think if you don't know who you are as a person, then you will be lost in the marriage. Some people discover themselves in the marriage and find out that that particular union isn't for them. But if they had matured a bit, not age, I mean, if they had matured a bit, they might have found the right partner for them. Yes, and why I say yes is that I believe that there is a right partner for everybody. No matter your dysfunction, there's somebody who is looking for that particular dysfunction. The only problem I see is that we don't look for those things. First of all, we don't accept we have those peculiarities or special needs cases, and then we just take somebody else who isn't a match for us. And if we could get those two things, I think you can have someone. For instance, a lot of women, I find out, do not want to be with their husbands all the time and maybe married to men who want to be with their wives all the time. I think those women are a perfect match for men who travel and are not at home and come home only once in a while. So we have a lot of problems when we do not know or accept our uniqueness and we just follow the trend. So that's my take on it.
I have a question before we go far. What is this marriage? Because marriage is a different thing for different people. So now there's an assumption that everybody's talking about the same thing, but it's not so.
Okay, well, when we're talking about marriage, we're actually saying that the legal joining of a couple together where either the church, the mosque, whatever belief that they have, or the law is involved in bringing them together in that union, where they get the certificate.
Okay, because some marriages are recognized in some places and not recognized in others.
Well, that's the marriage we're talking about. So any other thing outside the remit of that, well,
I know where it's going to. I know where it's going to.
I'm actually trying to see if we can get a general definition that fits all. So how about if we say it is the recognition of, you know, whatever is considered marriage for a certain society, within that society, because it doesn't even translate, if you see what I mean. My grandfather's way of marriage does not translate to where you are, for example.
Well, the thing is, we can't use that definition. We can't use that definition because all over the world, what is considered marriage? When you say, oh, when you tell people, oh, we got married. When you say to people, we got married, it means that you went through a certain kind of ceremony or a certain kind of agreement or a certain kind of contract between you and whoever it is. And you know, so there's some legal aspects to it. There's some cultural aspect. There's some religious aspects of it.
Yeah, but so I'm saying that I'm also adding that is set in certain societies. That's what makes it legal there. I think that's what gives it the backing you're talking about.
Well, the reason why we're not taking on anyone who is, you know, like the Mormons or whatever, is because they're not legally recognized. Now, this is the thing. We know that there are people who, there are places where if people have stayed together for more than 2 years, irrespective of whether they have had a ceremony or not, they are considered married. And they're considered to have the same rights as married people. So that's why we don't want to expand it to, because then it's going to be like, okay, we're going to go and get married in Tunga.
Are you sure this common law arrangement is equivalent to standard marriage? I'm not sure they have exactly the same rights.
I think they do.
In some places, they have exactly the same rights.
Okay, maybe it varies.
That's why I was also trying to throw in, you know, that setting. There's always a setting where it's acceptable, and in some settings is not. So that we're basically recognizing marriages all over, depending on the setting where you are. That's what I'm saying.
The bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. Is it legally acceptable? That's all that matters. Is it legally acceptable?
Are we speaking to the legality of the marriage here, or is it the union of the people that we are speaking about? Because
this is the thing. We're speaking to the legality because there are people like myself who will happily be in a relationship, a long-term relationship for the rest of our lives and actually never do the legal ceremony. Do you understand?
Well, I understand that aspect, but are we including those people in this conversation, or we are only speaking about the married people? Because if you are in a long-term relationship and it's a committed relationship, without the legality, you still have the same problems and the same issues as people who are legally married.
Yeah.
Ron will never agree
or
with you.
Very similar.
That when you get married, they give you a personal demon when you get married. But when you are still cohabiting, as long as you have not gone and done the marriage, you do not get that personal demon.
But but then that in itself is recognized. You see, this is why I'm bringing that up, because it is actually recognized in some places. Actually, let me put it this way: the marriage as we know it, if we just look at even all the people here, the marriages in the places where you are do not translate across. There are marriages that we can basically pick out right now in the places where all of you are actually, that once you get on a plane and go to the next person's location, it's illegal. It is legal where you are, but you get on the plane and go to the next place and it's illegal. What I'm trying to say is that we should allow for us to be able to go forward on it. I'm talking about it. First, we should basically accept that, the marriages are per locality.
Ogake fits
marriages
Abi
are what?
Perfectly.
I didn't get that. Marriages are what?
Ogake fits Abi perfectly.
No, you see, the thing is this. I don't understand. It depends on why we are speaking. Because
this is what I'm going to say, so that we don't waste too much time, because PK likes to just mess about, and I'm not going to let him do that today. So this is it. What we are talking about is the coming together of two people in an agreement of either living together, getting married, cohabiting, whatever it is, as long as it's a long-term, dedicated
committed
relationship.
It's about the union, not the legality. That's what she
exactly said. It's about the union, not the legality.
Yeah, it's about
let's stick with union.
Not the legality.
Let's stick with union. Yeah.
So the union and not the legality. We have had enough. We
have given some definition to it, so that we're all speaking from the same angle.
He likes to wind things upside down.
You do that a lot now.
No, but have you noticed that usually our idea is different from the same word?
I know. Okay. Because we have we've got Nandom waiting on. Unfortunately, we can only take 6 people. So let's talk about what are the things, or why would some people not qualify or would not be appropriate? Like someone like Ron said, if he had his way, there are certain tests you would do, that kind of thing. There are other people with different ideas as to why, maybe some people should get married and some people shouldn't even be considering it at all. John, can you please come back and talk to us and tell us your idea about the topic of, is marriage for everyone? Now that we've established that we're just talking about the union and not the legality, the union.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Hi. So, I think, marriage is nice for everybody.
You and PK smiled too much at each other just now.
I didn't even look at him. I never. Let me look at him now. Hi.
What's up, John?
Hi. How you doing?
Can you see?
Let me help you establish your suspicion. Joan brought me peppered cashew nuts when I was in Lagos, and she was about to send me amala. It's just that I had left for Abuja. So are you happy now? Yes.
It's me and you.
She took very good care of me. Me, I don't deny when somebody has done me well, I don't deny the person anywhere.
So now, because other people are doing you well, you're not denying me.
She is my person. She's my person. Make you know, no, I'm not hiding anything. She's my person. She's my personal person.
Yes,
I have heard. Oh yeah, Joe, continue, but you know that you're in trouble. Continue.
I know. Okay, so I think marriage is nice for everyone, but not everyone has the would I say the moral? No, not let me not use morality. Let me just say no, not everyone has the capability to keep a marriage. I'll just broadly use for the ladies. I feel if a lady cannot be submissive to a person, she has no business getting married to the person. And it cuts across a lot of ladies. Then for the guys, if you can't love another person, which means overlooking a lot of things, then you have no business getting married. So unfortunately, we have people who can't fit in those shoes. So not everyone would get married, but marriage would be nice for everyone. That's just what I think.
Okay.
What if the man does not want a wife that is submissive? Is it okay for a man not to want a submissive wife?
Of course.
Because you kind of just generalized and said if a woman isn't submissive and a man isn't loving, they shouldn't get married. What if the man doesn't want a wife that is submissive? He shouldn't get married?
No, I think there doesn't want
a woman.
Okay, there would always be at loggerheads.
So what you're saying is that he cannot now choose what is good for him.
Love to be the submissive one.
Exactly. He cannot determine what is good for him.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask a question on behalf of the men?
Yes.
On behalf of who?
Men.
Don't indulge him.
Men. So
please let's go.
So this marriage thing, right? That's part of the reason why I was asking about it initially, is because if you're looking at it one way, then you see when I hear Joan talk now, what I'm hearing, I could be totally wrong. She's looking at a one man, one woman scenario.
Yes.
But then there's a type of marriage that fits different people, different personalities. There are some that actually polygamy is what works for them.
Yep.
Once you make it one single thing, it becomes a stressful thing.
It becomes stressful. It doesn't fit the personality.
There is even a certain type of arrangement that is polyandry that works for the people involved. You take it away, you twist it, and it becomes a problem.
Yep.
So when
the woman has multiple husbands.
Yes, it works for the people who are involved, right? You take it away, and suddenly
I'm presently watching a show about polyandry where a woman has several husbands in America.
Please tell me the link after.
It's on TLC.
There was a lady who was in an African lady who had several husbands.
Yes,
she had several husbands.
Seeing how they manage it.
So the thing is that if you allow the people involved to structure their union, you'll find out that a lot will actually work. In fact, what's been going on over time, right, that society refuses to recognize is an attempt by individuals a lot of times to try and organize their own union. Then society says, no, you can't do that type of union here. And that's why you now have different flavors of the union that are acceptable to some and are not acceptable to others. But it's an attempt that grown-ups get together and say, this is how we want to be together. And most of the time, they're actually willing to be together like that continuously.
Yeah, because it is against the morality of the general populace.
Of that society.
That's societal morality.
Yes, of that society.
So basically, do that. You can't have
norms of the society.
Yeah, you can't have open marriages. You know, some people are like, we want to have open marriages. We want to have several people. Like I can date other people. I can sleep with other people. My husband can sleep with other people. Some people, some men like to be cuckolded. Some women like to be cuckolded. That basically means that they like to watch their wife sleep with someone else. So they like to
You,
see another person sleep with their wife, and for them, it makes them happy. Nandom, I'm sorry I couldn't add you on, but please just hang about and I'll be able to add you on. Say no, please, because I keep having this problem. When you come on, I need you to have your camera and your mic on, because every time I try to add you on, then I'm struggling. Okay, so yeah, you're right. There are all kinds of forms of unions, and the thing is, I think society is like, okay, we can't let everybody do what they want. We have to have like
yeah,
a sort of acceptable way of, because if that's the case, then people will say, well, I want to marry my horse. Some people say, I want to marry a 6 year old. Some people,
yeah,
everybody is going to be working out what appeals to them. So
yeah.
that's why society is like, okay, no, we have to have the standard, because if not, chaos will ensue. Now this book, I bought this book in 2005, and there are two of them. This was when I was still under the illusion that I wanted to get married. And the first one is called All About It's All About You, and the other one is It's All About Me. And basically, you and the person you're in a relationship with, you're supposed to have it and fill out several things and exchange it so that you can sort of understand each other. So it's almost like a kind of diary. So they say your personality. So I'm just looking at different pages here, and it says tick all that apply. You are adventurous, ambitious, angry, anxious, argumentative, arty, assertive, boring, brave, career oriented, cold, competitive, confident, confused, crazy, creative. That's just one line. There are four of them. So that's just one line I've read out. So you tick which one is applicable to you. And then you talk about your values. So overall, you are conservative, liberal, pragmatic. What's most important to you? Accomplishment, achievement, adventure, affection, altruism, art, being the boss, being the best, change and variety, cheerfulness, cleanliness, community. And there are four of those lists also. So you get to feel all kinds of things. There's another page that I just want to quickly read out. Our romance style. As a couple, we are affectionate privately, affectionate publicly, adventurous, angry, challenging, codependent, comfortable, committed, conflicted, cozy, dramatic, edgy, energetic. Again, four lines of this thing. So I think this is a way that was created to try and get people to have in-depth conversations about themselves and about their expectations of the other person. And we see so many forms of books like this, both in religious settings and in mainstream settings, where they're trying to get two people who say they want to come together to see beyond the sexual and the attraction and really go for the core values and what it is, to try and make out like, maybe something that works better than the norm.
But
So
some
I just
people,
wanted to share that with you guys. I just
but there are
wanted
a
to
lot of
share that with you.
there are a lot of people that just want the very simple things. Actually, not all this complicated stuff. And
Yeah, but
I guess they have it. They also have a right to marry.
No, you see,
yeah,
my
they
my
want the
my
simple
my
things,
thing
but
is
life isn't simple.
the thing.
Complications come.
The thing, I'm not sure about simplicity and complication when it comes to these things, because these things are part of the relationship. When you can't divulge, you can't remove romance and your personality from the relationship. So when you get to understand these things about your partner and about yourself, I think it helps the relationship. But my problem with these um books or these things is that they make it seem as if there's no room for change. People change a lot in a relationship. You grow, there should be that room. There should be that room to reassess you constantly and reconnect all the time.
This one
So that if
actually does. This one does. It tells you, look at it in 5 years' time, look at it in 10 years' time,
I can't
look at
know what it is will be in 5 years' time. For instance, now I've been married, I think this is my 14th year. Now, I am a very different person than from how I used to be when I first got married. I used to want Romeo and Juliet, love all the time with my husband, that kind of thing. But I've grown. I've actually changed. I wouldn't say whether right now he can be somewhere else and I'll be somewhere else, and we are cool. We have changed the nature of the relationship, but we still at each point. And I tell a lot of people, we assess these things all the time. I always tell my husband, how far? Are we still good? Abi say you want to, everybody want waka, you still do you? You know, that kind of thing. And people think I'm crazy. No, I want to always know, are we in the same place? Do we still want to move together? There is room for assessment all the time. So people grow. I may be needy yesterday and very aloof today. So I think let's not.
Exactly, because I had an afro when I first got married. Look at me now.
I'm not a fan of bald-headed man. If I had met Speaky and married him and he had an afro, I'll be vexing in the house right now.
I didn't have gray hair before I got married.
And there are many.
Now I have gray hair.
When I was young, there are a lot of ladies that when they want to yab them, they'll say, "Look at you, you're going to marry a bald old man." But look at me now. So that change for some people is like, this is the thing that they told me that I've always said, I reject it. Then I'll now go and turn into the same person.
Have you me that I didn't like a bald-headed man, and look at me now. Look at me. He went and did me juju. The juju caught me.
We've not heard from Abi. We've not heard from Abi.
It's interesting listening to people for once.
Abi, but Abi, before you go on, I want to throw this. Wait now, before Abi goes on, I want to throw this in. Now, when Ron and I were talking about the kind of people who really shouldn't be looking at marriage as an option, where maybe the casual hit it and quit it, that kind of thing. Now, because someone like me, I'm not interested in that whole legality, that whole ceremony. I just want someone to love me that I can love, and we can be in a relationship and we can work things and build our lives and go through the whole motion. But I just don't want all of that ceremony, because I have found that it actually makes me very, very nervous. It makes me very it makes me be on edge, and I don't want to be in that situation at all. And I believe that if you're going to do something as important as a wedding day, it really should be your happiest day, not your most stressful day where you're like nervous and you're upset and that kind of thing. And so that's why it's one of the many reasons why it's not for me. But we were talking.
Sorry, Abi, why you're thinking it's not for you? Because never say never. So as of today, this is the way you're thinking.
Sorry.
I said, as of today, this is the way you are thinking. But it's not necessarily going to be the way you are going to think.
Well, for a very long time, I thought marriage was the thing for me. And now I know for a fact that it's not. So, I've been thinking about, because I was conditioned, I've been thinking about, who am I going to get married to since I was 16? And I didn't stop thinking like that until I was 35. That's a long time.
And how old are you?
So now I know for a fact that is not my thing.
And how old are you?
It's just what it is, and Ron doesn't like it. My mother doesn't like it, but it's what it is.
I think that marriages, my change over time, that I think that the marriage contract should be renewable every 7 years. Where you come together, it should just expire. It's around that time that nonsense usually
7 year each.
Yeah. Right? So
I think it's different for everyone. Some people have it at the beginning. Some people have it like first year or first 2 years of marriage. It depends. Probably
I think when anyone wants to have a look at it, they should allow.
I think so.
They should allow the contract to be renewable, whereby it expires legally, and then you will probably get maybe better behavior across the board because your contract is coming up for renewal. This one-on-one that you are doing.
What you just said. If I was actually playing God, you know what I would do? I just say, can you say that again? Renewable contract. Yeah. I just cross your name. You're not eligible.
Well, what Ron and I were talking about, because I want Abi to speak, what Ron and I were talking about was that there's certain people who have no business being even looking at marriage. They should be like having fun, doing whatever, flangering, whatever it is they want to do. But marriage, where you're coming to actually merge your life with someone else's, you have no business. We talked
It
about they
depends.
did that.
It actually
We talked
depends on
about
the type. It depends on the type
sorry?
of marriage. Not everybody is
Yeah.
suited for the
Yeah,
type,
but
for
I'm
one
just saying,
single type.
I'm just putting this out. Let me finish, PK. I'm just saying what we were talking about, right? So we were talking about the ones we talked about last week. Remind me, please. Um mama's boys. So
Yeah,
mama's
yeah.
boys who can't make any decision without running it by their mom, who they have to have some woman in the house to tell them what to do. You have no business going to go and merge with someone who is expecting to be in a relationship with a man. Misogynists, misandrists, they have no business because they hate the opposite sex anyways. So why are you getting into a relationship with the opposite sex?
They
So
don't
those
hate the
kind of people,
organs. They don't hate the
so
organs. They
then
hate the people.
people who are narcissists, gaslighters, people who like, again, that goes to what Ron was saying about people with like having people do mental health evaluation before actually going into marriages. Like, we do all the tests, but we actually don't do a mental health check on whoever is getting married. Are these two actually mentally in the right place to get married? So PK, I can see you thinking.
Yeah,
I can
How
because
see the
possible
Happy,
that
thinking.
would
I
Happy
be,
can
yeah?
hasn't
see you
said anything.
thinking.
No.
I'm thinking
Happy hasn't said anything.
I'm thinking
Yes, no,
because
no. That's what I'm saying. I can see him thinking, but I want Abby to speak first. So
all right,
Abby, can you speak? And
Abby,
you
you go
continue
first.
thinking. Yeah.
Abby, and then
Then
also tell
no.
us what happens when the person who has money stops having money. Will you still love the person?
Why
Wow,
not?
Mm.
that's an
It
interesting.
depends on what the relationship was for in the first place.
No,
If the relationship was if the
Abby is all
relationship was
about.
based on money,
Yes, Abby's relationships are totally like that. You know, she's like Dangote level money. So I just want to
that
point out.
is
She
fantastic.
has
In fact,
declared
I
herself a
love that.
gold digger.
I think
Oh,
you're,
okay,
I think
yeah.
you're,
I think
I
that's
think
good.
you're misreading that because it depends, like she said, it depends on what the relationship was before. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when somebody is very focused on the kind of person that he wants, it doesn't mean that that's the only focus that he's got. Now, I've said this like 10,000 times. That when I'm talking about damages, I'm not talking about money. Because does he even have
Yes.
the money to play about?
Mm.
He has a lot of loans, he has a lot of credit, so this kind of people most times they don't really hold cash, but they have something that most people might not have. So let's leave that one for now. I'll tell you my secret on the hair. So now, I know we said quite a lot of things, and I think I'm trying to get the name. Is it Mayo? Um, the
Moon.
lady in red. What's her name?
Maymoon.
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 Maymun.
I think she's just eating all the right buttons and all that. I'm like, okay, I'm just nodding my head, and I'm thinking, well done. I like everything that she was
She's
saying
your
tonight.
kind of person.
I'm kind of going overboard for some weird reason tonight. But anyway, it's not an assessment time. It's not an assessment time. So yes, I think marriage for me, it's not a must have for everyone. It shouldn't be a must have under any circumstances. But I think the society has a way of programming it in the minds of everyone that it's something that we all should have. It's a nice to have. Just to say what Joanna said before, is a nice to have. So if you have it, maybe it might be good. But knowing that we all can conform, because as soon as she mentioned the word submissive, now you need to see the hair on my head. Everything just went up
Me
like
too. Me too.
what
I
the
was like,
Like,
what the hell?
that's how you submit, madam. Yeah, that's submit.
I,
At
I'm sorry.
all.
I always say this. I want to be submissive to somebody. But the people I'm
Mhm.
going to submit, whoever I'm going to submit to be submissive to, has
Must
to
be
have
worth
this.
it.
They have
Yes.
to be cleared up. So, but the
Mhm.
society is not putting that into consideration. Just say be submissive. You see somebody married to somebody that's very clueless and you're saying submissive. How?
The-
They're going to rest together. Do you get what I mean?
Don't
So
know.
Yeah, I
see,
Mm-hmm.
do.
this is a natural thing. So if you're very clued up now, it's like if he is talking Because let me blow him up a little bit. He has a bit of IQ. So when he's talking, let's not say even within this conversation now, if he's talking outside, people want to listen because he's got something to say. If Mahmoud is talking because he's got something to say, it's a natural thing. We don't have to be fighting for submissive. But the way when women say it makes it really condescending. I'm sorry.
Very condescending.
I know that you don't mean it. I know you don't mean it in that way.
Yes.
But it's like when we say it ourselves as women, it doesn't sound well from our own. Because what the men are looking for, what the men are looking for actually is
a doormat.
Thing.
Looking for a doormat.
We need a sensible one that will know how to regulate things when it's necessary. I'm going to accord respect to whoever needs to be accorded respect to. I'm not going to talk to my husband or significant other and be like, oh, yeah. I'm not going to do all that. I'm a respectful person. But at the end of the day, being submissive, the word itself for me is like, I'm sorry. I cringe when I hear that word, submissive for what? You know what I mean? Because even though I'm doing the act, but telling me that I need to be submissive, it just means that you're telling me that I cannot think, I don't know where to act, I don't know how to behave. When I see somebody, even somebody that is younger than me, I can see you outside and say, good afternoon, sir. That doesn't remove anything from me. Not to talk of somebody that I'm dating. So, but if we keep focusing on women have to be submissive, men have to be, and that's why I said I love what women said that, these things we hear is the society, is the conditioning they've told us in our heads. And we are carrying it like placard. Okay, submissive, husband, everybody's working on a prototype. Sorry.
What does it mean, really? What does it mean? What does it mean to be submissive?
Sorry,
okay.
Can I
Let Joan defend herself because I want us to also remember that while some of us, when we hear the word submissive, it makes our skin want to walk off from our body. For other people, they're very comfortable with it, and we have to be accepting of each other. So, John,
I'm saying that I'm representing myself when I'm talking. And when she was saying, she just said, she's just saying our own, which I respect. I'm just saying that this is how I feel. So, which, just like you said, he has the right to say that. I'm not saying why he say that. But I also have the right to say, I don't agree with it. And from women's perspective, not general perspective, because people can say it, men can say it, but hearing from her, I didn't like that I was hearing from her. The man say it now, just I'm like, what are you talking about?
So okay, let Joan say what she wanted to say. Yeah.
Okay, so what I actually meant is okay, yes, the submissive fact comes from you respect a person enough to submit to him. You can't just submit to everybody. That's why it's vital that if you have to be married to someone, he has to be someone whose views you respect. Who, if he probably tells you, okay, you need to cool off at this point, you at least see sense because you believe that he's coming from a point of understanding where he knows that you need to actually cool down and you respect his views. So yes, I agree. You can't submit to everybody, but there are certain people who you have a level of respect for that you submit to. And you have no business getting married to someone who you cannot respect enough to submit to. That's my own point of view. So I didn't mean you must be submissive to anybody you get married to. No, even I won't do that.
In actual fact,
I want to ask a question.
For people to be ordinary friends, they have to be able to submit to each other.
Thank you. That was what I was going to say, because the fact is this: for you to be in a relationship with someone, you must respect the person's views. So when you elevate it to marriage, it just comes naturally. He has to respect me and I respect him. For instance, now when I ask what is the meaning of this submissiveness, people tell me that his say is final. Fine. Exactly. Somebody has to have a final say. And it depends on the condition. For instance, there are some things that I believe that I am better at than my husband. I'm a biologist. He's in the banking sector. Now, when it comes to money or when it comes to banking and where he's good at, I give it to him. If he says this, even if it's wrong, I'm not going to challenge it in his sector. When it's my sector, when it comes to the kids' house, biology, and things like that, that is where what I'm saying is final. So I do not think that he should come into my field and come and use hand and knock it as final, and I should just take it like that. No, I think there are areas where we ahead.
Okay, but I want to point out something.
I'm sorry. Let me say this, Abi. In the same Bible, that these people, almost everyone, including myself, before we used to cherry pick and pick this woman must submit to a man. In the same Bible, follow the next verse, you will see there that it says that husband and wife submit to each other.
No, they don't see that one.
I can put the exact verse. So
they don't see that one.
Okay, let's. Should we not tell them?
Okay, so I want to point out. And the reason why I was trying, because my memory is not the best, and now I've forgotten the other part of what I wanted to point out. Okay, but let me go to the first one. I dated someone that we were actually like, you know what, we want to commit to each other. We want to actually have a loving, committed relationship. And this person was like a Bible scholar, you know, like we used to do Bible study together with a few people, very rooted deeply in the word and everything. And then some things happened, and somehow I sort of lost touch with him, and then he came back again and was like, oh, sorry, it was basically sort of had like maybe a not mental breakdown, but he had a bit of a breakdown. Like he just had things got too much to him. And in the process of trying to seek peace for his soul, he wasn't finding that peace anymore in the religiosity, in the scriptures and everything. He wasn't finding any peace there. And then he met this group that were using religion, hip hop. I hope I say it right. Religion, hip hop, and meditation as a form of a religious base. And he went and joins them. And I remember saying to myself, wow, I dodged the bullet there, because now I was very much in the church and all that stuff. But I remember saying to myself, wow, I dodged the bullet there, because imagine if I had married him and we had gotten married just before he had the breakdown, and I'm there, I've married this semi-pastor, everything. And then next thing, breakdown, he comes and tells me, hip hop, mysticism. I mean, like, what happened? And the thing I'm trying to get through is, people change. We change constantly. Who I am now is not who I was 5 years ago. It's not who I was 10 years ago. It's not who I was 15 years ago. Completely different. When I first came to this country, oh my God, I am so different from that person. In fact, there's some pictures that I look at and I'm like, I don't recognize this person. Because even physically, it looks like I've physically changed from that. So, you know, how do we handle those kind of changes that come, whether we like it or not? We have no power over it. You know, there's some people that can handle that, and there's some people who can't. And when you think about the things that people look at last week we talked about what the qualities to look for in a partner. And you might see some qualities and you'll be like, yeah, these are the qualities, but then those things could even change. Then people who can't deal with that, people who can't cope with change like that, or people who themselves change and they can't feel the same way they were feeling before about would you say, you know what, maybe marriage isn't for you? Maybe, you know, it's something you should. Someone is crinkling something. It's coming out really loud over there.
I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Are you done?
So,
she's not being submissive.
I'm sorry. I've forgotten the second thing I wanted to say. That's why I was trying to speak. Please, when I'm trying to let me, because I will forget. So, okay, yeah.
Okay, I just want to ask a question to Abi. Abi, please send me that passage where it says husband.
5:21. It was even before the 22 that said submit to your wife.
Ephesians 5:21.
Ephesians 5:21 says that
Moon, let them argue, then I'll bring your. Are you saying you want to come on or you're saying goodbye? I'm trying to understand.
No, I want
okay,
to.
yeah. Okay, Moon, yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
About change in marriage. It happens. It is a part of the marriage. It happens for, like, especially for we women. We go through a lot of hormonal changes, from pregnancy to postpartum to premenopausal, menopausal. We have a whole lot of it, as in the hormones are raging, and some die, some
low
come.
libido, add that one too.
All join. They are all part of the no libido comes with this whole pregnancy or everything. So it varies. So what my thing is, you get married not just for one reason. You get married for many reasons. There are many things. You can want kids, you can want a business partner, because one leg has gone off doesn't mean that the chair is going to fall down. It may wobble, but it's not going to fall. So I think we should have that at the back of our minds. Why are we really in this thing? And I think that's why we should assess and reassess. So for instance, you may be having good sex for the first few years of your marriage, and then all of a sudden your partner doesn't want, maybe she gets pregnant, or he has prostate, or some kind issues. It doesn't mean that there are no other advantages or no other reasons why the marriage should continue. I don't think it is a marriage ending thing, because when I speak to people who get divorced, who have gotten divorced, and I always ask them what it is. At that point, I see that they can no longer see the reason for the relationship. It's not the quarrel. It's not the one thing that broke the camel's back. It is that they can no longer see why they are in that relationship. But some women, you see them in worse relationships, but they can still see why they are there. It's either for the kids. Let my kids just grow up in this thing, or okay, the guy is bringing money, or I'm training my family. There are many reasons why people get married, all which I'm not reducing. They are all very valid reasons why people get married. But I think we should people change. It is part of the marriage. Let us accept that one, and not be under the illusion that everybody is going to stay the same, or the things are going to stay the same. No. So that is it.
Abi, you were saying something?
Yeah, so I was talking about Ephesians 5:21. So that Ephesians 5:21 says, submit yourself to one another because of your relevance for Christ. And now, after the 21, that's when the now takes, which is why submit to your husband. Now, that means, in plain English, that before the wife will submit, both of them should have submit themselves to one another. This is the one they don't talk about every now and again. So when I
But
hear that,
does that explanation make sense? That after it says both of you should submit equally to one another, then the next verse tells only one person to submit to the other person.
No,
does it make sense?
What
yes, it does.
What it does. Thank you. What they're saying is that no matter what, even the
I am loving this, because this is how Ron came with one
Well,
argument, and I was
let her
like,
land. No,
how does this make sense? And
let
it was
her
like,
land. Let her land.
Both of them are submit to one another. In the case of the explanation that she made earlier, one person will still have a valid point at some point. We are not saying you are relegating the man in the house. That's not what we are saying. But we are saying that don't invalidate. This is what men mostly, and I'm not going to say everyone, they in a way, subtle way, invalidate women. Just by saying certain things, they just make people feel like they are lesser. It's not, a woman is not lesser than the man, because you can't marry and you valid.
Or you can share now. You have many. Leave that
what
one
we
for
are
her.
saying in a nutshell is that submit to one another according to the Bible. And 22, whether you like it or not, so you still submit, but not in a derogatory way. Because you and the man already submit to one another. You already understand each other. That's what it means. So if we are to be
let me break. Let me.
verse 22, we should always remember that there is verse 21.
Okay, let me break the tie. The thing is this. This thing is not complicated. It's simple. Now, that passage is for somebody. That passage is actually for somebody, a man
I'm
who is
sorry, I'm
following.
struggling to hear. There's a lot of back talk in
Can you
someone's.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Uh-huh.
I can just
Now,
hear
this is
some.
for what that scripture is the scripture is actually talking to two people, both the man and the woman. What is actually saying is that men should follow Christ. If you are following Christ, you should be able to do the right and proper things. Okay? Because the scripture is already thinking that let's not tell a woman to submit to a drunkard or a foolish person. Do you get what I'm saying? So now they're addressing the man. Both of you should submit together as you follow Christ. But when it goes further, it still tells the couple, see, oh, the man is the head, oh, two of you are following, but this is the authority. This who now is. I don't like when women say that you are making women less human beings. It's wrong. Women just have their role. Men have their roles.
Let's care. My mother.
Yeah, you say what you're saying, and I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you. But what I don't agree with is the fact that when you make that particular statement as though that's the only statement in that verse. So we have said in the first place, submit to one another. If you already submit to one another, then
the scripture is holy now. You can't make unfair statements now.
What did you
say? You can't make unfair statements. The man first has to behave himself.
Hold on, Maymoon, yes?
Ron, the thing is this. When we are saying that they make women feel inferior or less, it is not just because of that statement, but because of the actions in which men have used that statement to propagate. They use that statement, submit, don't go to school, submit, stay at home, submit, leave your job, submit. That is how you people suppress us. Yes. Submit, born every year. Submit, don't have career. Thank you. Submit. You can't name your child. It's the woman. It's the man that names the child. Submit. Submit. So every time they use that sentence, is to strip away one right
you
that you have.
Choose what you like.
So that is why we are saying.
First, the man that is implementing that passage must first implement the first one. Which says you must be in Christ first.
They are not. No, nobody says that. Nobody says the man must be in Christ first. Nobody says that. The only thing they say, I am not a Christian, but I can give you the Islamic equivalent. The way that men, basically, it's not just a Christian thing. The way men use religion to put women behind. They do not read the ones. Exactly. They do not read the ones where you have your right and what they are supposed to do for you. No. That one is silent. Somehow, if they could erase it, they would have erased it. Now, it's only the one where you and which they interpret for you to be subjugated. That is the one that is highlighted. So when we are saying and when we are rebelling against that thing, it's not as if we do not understand that there's some positive things that can come from it. We do actually like the issue of submitting. But the issue is that when it is abused, is the abuse that we are fighting against.
I want to submit, though. I want to submit. I'm ready to submit, but don't abuse.
Very well.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know where I want to submit and how I want to submit.
Okay, okay. I'm taking note of all your complaints. I'm going to do a worldwide Zoom meeting.
It's not the kind of solution you people are thinking of.
I'm going to do a worldwide Zoom meeting to men all over the world, and I need to talk to all the men, to understand that women are not pleased.
Ron, have they gada beat you before?
Eh?
Have they gada beat you before? Because I see a gada beat in your future. If you try
when we talk about rape, abuse, things like that, one thing that always comes to me is that the people who are beneficial of any sort of
privileges,
do you think they were going to stop?
Of course, not.
So most times
history is written by
let's go back.
that is why that was why I was tackling my own sister here, Joanne, to say, if the men are talking or the men are talking, I don't care, because we know them for what they are saying. But I won't want somebody from my own place to say that. Even if you believe it, don't say it.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
This
PK,
is the thing.
Ron,
Somebody mentioned it.
Ron, hold on. PK, I see you. You've been smiling. You've been nodding your head. You've been thinking. You've been like, Oh yeah, share your thoughts. Sorry, that's my alarm.
Okay.
Yeah, PK, share your thoughts.
Thoughts about what? Sorry.
Were you asleep when they were fighting the whole? Go and tell your men folk.
About what? Sorry. Somebody was distracting me.
Submission.
Oh, submission.
Who is distracting you? Wait. Who is distracting you?
It's X-Jaw that is always distracting me.
Hey!
They're my biggest problem. In fact,
I'm still waiting.
Let me even tell you something. Let me tell you one very quick joke. So one X-Jaw called me. I said, that one X-Jaw. She said they take X-Jaw swear for you. I said yes, and you are one of them.
X-Jaw is basically the girls from my school.
So see the submission that you're talking about, right?
That was not a funny joke.
Which one of them?
The X-Jaws are all protesting now.
The X-Jaw,
even Joanne is not smiling well.
Oh, wait. The one is an X-Jaw too.
Yes, no.
True. They take X-Jaw swear for me.
I'm tired of this man. I don't know what to do with him again.
They don't take X-Jaw swear for me.
You are everywhere.
I have accepted my lot in life. Say now, mafia.
Oh, don't accept anything. Honestly, at this rate, I'm going to be tying you inside the house.
I have accepted my lot in life. Say now, mafia. Now I go enter. So let me just live with the consequences. So all that submission nonsense.
Is Nandom still online so that
Nandom was online, but he's left. I've been waiting for him so that I can bring him on, but I don't.
All that submission nonsense. Where soldier woman they talk. That no be submission. Basically, now spark they go spark. But that submission for it to work, basically. The way it works usually, if you think about it, is a respect for everybody's views. But there have been scenarios actually where this person wants to go left and the other person wants to go right, and nobody basically is backing down. Right. And funnily enough, you'll find out that the relationship actually from there actually just diverges, right? And so in that case, somebody needs to back down.
Okay, that reminds me what I wanted to say before I forget. Now,
you say make I answer something.
Wait, sorry, because I've remembered and I don't want to forget.
Submit. This is what we're talking about.
I'm not submitting anything. After you've got to follow X-Jaw up and down. So this is the thing. You'll find that when you ask a lot of people who have been married for a long time and then they divorce, and you ask them what happened, they go, I'm no longer happy. I actually met a man at the food festival and we were talking. It was quite cute. I'm not going to lie. I was like attracted. He was very intelligent. But we were talking.
White guy, black guy, Nigerian guy?
White. I don't deal with black guys, I beg. I don't have their energy. Okay. And I know that I will be attacked. It's not my fault. Black men, every time a black man walks up to me, they always say two things to me. Always, without fail. Now, wow, this your Oyinbo is plenty.
Second,
that's Nigerian black guy.
Hey, are you sure that
Nigerian black guy?
Are you sure that you can be a wife like this? Are you sure?
They are just asking
without fail.
No, don't take that. It's just
without fail. So, and number one, when you come and talk to me, and your first thing is you're criticizing the way I speak. We're already done. Okay. Then you're asking me exactly. This your boy is plenty. That's the way I speak. Deal with it. Why would you? What are you trying to do? You're trying to make me feel bad or what? And then number two, you're asking me, are you sure you can be a wife? Are you sure you can be a husband to me? Why are you asking me whether I'm sure I can be a wife? Are you sure you can be a husband to me? Ask PK.
subtle way
Not
of
any man can be my husband.
You know that Nigerian men are not very good at communicating. So
I
sometimes you may just have
don't
to fill
even
in the
mess
gaps
with
for
them.
them.
I beg. Let everybody did their day. I don't mess with them. And anybody that wants to abuse me, abuse me. I don't.
Worry, post your comment on YouTube. We'll post it for you. Like, yeah, we abuse you.
Let them abuse me now today. Nobody say that they have me, don't they? And me, I did there for them anytime.
Wait, Abi,
Anyway, so going back to what I was saying, so this guy was like, he looked at his wife and it took him 7 years. He said it took him 7 years to get to the point where he was like, this isn't working anymore. And the wife is like, whoa, what happened? She was like, I just don't love you anymore. I'm not happy. I've tried everything to be happy and I'm just not happy. And the thing is that you see this pursuit of happiness, like we've compromised, we've done everything to try and make this marriage work, we've come together to try and make two people come together, build a life, train children, everything, and then it comes to a point where it's just like, you know what, it's not just working for me anymore. I'm not happy. I'm no longer happy. And that is one of the scary things about marriage, because when we're talking about marriage being for everyone, again, we've talked about misogynists, we've talked about, people that have issues with Noel, please come back. I was about to add you on and then you went off. Can you please come back? We talk about gaslighters, people who everything, they always make sure that it's always someone else's fault. It is always someone else's fault why something is wrong. Even when they make a mistake, it is someone else's fault. And they erode the other person's, because gaslighters are not just men, they're men, they're women, and they erode the soul and the spirit of the person that they're with. There's some people that are just emotional vampires. They walk into a room and they suck the energy out of the place. And you're like, God Almighty. When you hear that they're coming, you're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. So how do you deal with that? Are those people, should there be a pass? Okay, this is the question. Should there be a pass for some people when they get to certain things that doesn't align with the concept of a union anymore?
Yes.
Ron, would you like to answer that? Because I know that.
I just wanted to add something. This is the thing. In as much as somebody might not seem appealing to one, I might just walk, I see a girl that I think is crazy or is not stable. I just realized that for every human being in existence, there's always somebody who can love and manage that person.
Exactly.
It's just
exactly.
the person just needs to find a match. She needs to find her match, because I've seen these things happen a lot of times. We always choose people we think society will approve of us choosing.
Exactly.
And end up in big problems.
Yep.
If you're a girl and if you're a for goodness sakes, we see guys marrying professional prostitutes all the time. It happens all the time. And these are people, regular guys who say, oh, I will never do it, God forbid. But people are marrying them, they are mothers, they're giving birth to kids, they're having happy marriages. Do you understand?
But these are confident people and people who know themselves.
No, let's not even label the people. Let's not even label the people matching with them. Let's just say that they found their fit. The other way you can see, and again, this is not a nice thing to say. I've seen bullies, like guys who like hitting women, and you just see this lady just leave me. That's how I know that he loves me. There's nothing you are going to say. Nothing
I
you
have
will
met
do.
a woman who is like, if her husband doesn't beat her, that she will leave him, because to her that
they
means
don't feel love though.
My mouth was like this.
I've seen it not once, not twice, not three times. I've seen many times. Each time you try to educate them that this is abuse, you turn out to be the enemy. Why are you not minding your business? Why are you telling her that she's being abused? So I just found out that we are human beings. We are so dynamic that you can never ever understand what's going on in everybody's mind. But what we just hope for is that two people who are opposite or who look different can just find their fix, their match, and just survive. That's what all I hope for people, because at the end of the day, it's who you want to be with for the rest. We are just saying this on the premise of it's forever, right? I know that people break up and all that, but we're just discussing on the premise that marriage is forever. So always look for somebody. The person might be crazy, but it's that craziness that is joining two of you together. Well, all good, fine. If it's working, then let it work for you. That's the way I
Well,
see it.
it is not forever according to PK because it should be renewable every 7 years.
No, I've marked him. I've ticked him off that note.
The thing
You
is
know, I'm
that
going to play God later, and I've ticked him.
when we are talking about why I said that they are confident is because that you say that people who marry people who are not societally acceptable. I think for anybody who is going up against society has to be a very confident person.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you do willy-nilly, you do when you are a coward. No. You have to be very confident and very, you must have your own craze somewhere else. So that's one. Two, I really do hold divorce I think it's an important part of marriage. I do think that we tend to look at it as a bad thing.
Bad thing, yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I think the abuse of it can be bad like any other thing, but there are some instances when it is necessary. And this is when every other option has been exhausted and hasn't worked. I think we should always put it, for me, it is always an option, so that you don't get to the point where you are desperate or you feel you need to harm the other person for you to get out. I really don't want anybody to get to that point. So it's always an option. And
but Maymoon, there are people who, even though they know that divorce is an option, would rather hurt the person than let them go.
A lot of times,
if I can't have you, nobody else can.
You know why? You know why that is happening? Because society, even some of us here, we still believe that this thing is a taboo, even though there's an option. But we still see it as is a bad thing. That's what Mahmoud is trying to say. If we don't correct that impression, it means that if I don't want people to feel bad, if I don't want people to think bad of me, then I have to stay there, irrespective of the way that I know that there is an option. Okay, there is an option for me out there, but the society, I know that when I come out, they're gonna like, oh God. So she's
a divorcee. She has lost her value. She has had how many kids?
Something she has. You can work on it. It's not that we are doing it. The people doing it, they're not doing it badly. It's an unconscious bias thing. It's an ability not to, in a way, we've not learned, we've not gotten to that stage yet as a society. All the people that I was embracing somebody recently when the person told me that the mom should be around maybe 70, and the mom had about 3 children, then left the dad, and then got married to another person. And when I saw that, I said, the mom must be very brave. You know why I said that? Because in those days, those are like abominations. But the guy wasn't saying that. Was like, what was that? Well, it's not a bad thing that she got married, but there's no really like a big deal there. He couldn't see it. But I could see that going against the norms in that society to say, and even after having 3 children, went to another man, got married, had about 4 children again. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And so it is the society that we are until they know, just like Mahmoud. I've never seen somebody. I'm sorry, Mahmoud, if you don't like this, but I'm just meeting you tonight, and you sound so rude.
We've met before.
Probably. I don't know. I try to remember, but I'm assuming tonight, like you just I don't know. It just melts my heart because the society don't like the truth. We don't like to speak it as it is. So the problem we have is that we've not upgraded ourselves. So is that 1820 mentality that we have that we still have. So it must be a bad thing they're diverse. And if we have that notion, then it means that even when things are not going well, we are going to stop there. We are going to stop there because God forbid you want to be a diversity. It's women that will be casting you, not even men.
It's women. It's we women.
Which takes me to the question, and I want to ask John this, since she came up with, that concept of a union at the beginning. So would it be okay to then say that? Huh?
But I want you, Joanne.
No, I'm not killing her now. I'm not killing her. She hasn't spoken in a while. So this is the thing. So would it be okay to then say that society has a job to do in accepting, because this is the thing, we've all agreed that marriage isn't for everyone. We've all agreed that in whatever ramification marriage is, it is not for everyone. Whatever form marriage wants to take, whether it's polygamy, polyandry, monogamy, whatever it is, open marriage, closed marriage, bracket marriage, whatever kind of marriage it is not for everyone. So would it then be okay to say, even knowing that there are all diverse forms of marriages out there that people can work to suit them, there are some people who marriage isn't for, and we as a society need to be okay with it. That when someone says, I'm not interested in getting married, the automatic response is, stop that thing. You will get married in Jesus' name.
I'm sorry, are you asking society to mind their business?
No, but the thing is, most of our behaviors are rooted in societal acceptance.
You can never ask society to mind their business. So that's just, that's why it's society.
No, I'm not saying society to mind their business. I'm saying that because we are members of society, the six of us here and every other person who is listening in. So the question that I'm asking is that would it then be what we should be striving for, that to say when someone says, marriage isn't for me, I'm happy to be in a loving relationship, but whatever form marriage is, it is not for me. And for people to say, that's okay. And apart from that, that people should feel safe and comfortable enough in themselves to say, it's not for me.
So then society will not have anything
we still have those that when they come up and say, I'm not interested in having children, it's as if they've murdered somebody.
Then what would the society gossip about if you take away all this? This is the benefit.
Are you trying to make the whole place boring?
Yeah. Do you realize that people live off of let's put a pot on the stove, put some tea.
So who are we going to blame?
You
need to blame someone.
You want society to go crazy. You actually want society to mental health.
You're supposed to destroy the fabric of society.
We are not fighting already. You've done that before. You've not done that before. Are you busy? So they are not busy.
Exactly.
They are not busy.
There are many people who are not busy, Abby. And
society can never be busy at the same time. The whole society can be.
They need to discuss the career woman who is busy all the time, and they need to feel better by saying that they are saving the world. You don't say that they should not accept it.
Isn't it interesting, ladies? Isn't it interesting that it's the men that are like, what will we talk about?
No.
Okay, me, I'm not part of society again. I'm part of community.
That are usually talking about it, but once that talk is going on, men can watch football, which means that there is peace across the whole world.
No, so if we leave the women to have something to talk about, then the men can watch football.
Do not come and
I grew up in the house.
That's disrupting the world order, right? If you create a void by taking away the ability to gather and gossip, which is what some people call it, right? Then it means that these women now have to go and trouble their husbands, and those ones cannot watch football, and there's going to be more friction in the house. You are actually breaking apart.
I see a gadabit in your picture.
Maybe you're not understanding. Maybe you're not understanding PK. Let me break it down for you.
I see a gadabit in the future of both of you.
You're not understanding PK. the only reason why men have not all died off in marriage is because there's something that we look forward to. We look forward to watching football. Now, the reason why we can watch football peacefully for 90 minutes is because women are busy talking something else and discussing someone else. Now, imagine implementing your new rule now that nobody should gossip or talk about anybody. Wait, imagine saying that nobody should gossip. Remember, it's women that gossip about women and men, not men. Now, imagine you remove this, you implement this new law that nobody should talk about somebody that is single, somebody that divorced, somebody that is misbehaving, somebody that is doing his private thing. Do you know what it means for us? Do you know how many people die of blood pressure? Now you've shifted everything to our head again.
Okay, John, I'm sure you heard what I said, not what these men heard. Because what I said and what they heard are two separate things. So
exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. It's a domino effect.
Come and say it's okay.
Let's be coming down. Be coming down.
Yourself, as you are saying it now, I'm afraid now that if there's some people go and practice that, then you now have friction go up at home. That okay, you are drinking tea. There's nobody to talk about. Nobody that they can say, look at. Have you seen this person? Or if it is a church setting, say, I have a prayer point. Hey. We're praying for Abi. She has not married since. So. You really want to take that away? Please don't even go there. Don't go there at all.
You don't use me. Nobody should use me for prayer points.
You realize that there are some people that become prayer partners on top gossip topics. That they meet every Wednesday.
They are not hearing what I said.
All night is just so that they can have an avenue to basically gossip and then feel like they've done a great thing. Let us pray for.
Who are the people that are gossiping?
It's like, it's men that call it gossip. Men call it gossip. But
women laughing ahead.
Women have prayer points. They have prayer points where they are trying to pray for the advancement of society. But those prayer points, when you hear the prayer points, you don't realize that, I did not know that Abi now is dating somebody, okay? Let us pray that this one goes well.
Even if I'm dating somebody, I'm sure that we will not get married. We will
say we are going to pray now, that this time will be different. Say, that's why some people will now know that, Abi has met somebody, and that
I'm just knowing now.
So this is how
they're just knowing that what.
But gossip.
You think that Johnny John, please.
They'll say Joan came on holidays with one guy. We're praying that their talk will be fruitful in Jesus' name. then at that time they don't announce they talk to somebody.
Okay, please, quick, let Joan answer, because what I said was completely different from this.
Let me quickly. Joan, answer.
Okay, so we've learned to tolerate ourselves when we have different religions. So we've found a way to tolerate the fact that some people will be Christians, some people will be Muslims, some will be traditionalists, some would not just believe in anything. So it's I'm sure we'll find a way around it. I'm sure. Of course, there will still be room for gossip, juicy gossip topics, but then it won't be so much of a stigma anymore, because I think people are becoming more enlightened. Yes. So people are becoming more enlightened, people are becoming more open to, things that our fathers could not even think about. So I'm sure with time, divorce wouldn't, in fact, I think right now it's not so much of there's no much hula baloo over it as compared to when I was much younger, where it was, a lot of, stuff. But then I'm sure we'll learn to tolerate ourselves soon. Really, really, really soon.
John, it's really interesting that for a lot of things regarding people's personal choices with how they want to live their life, you will find that feminism and westernization is usually blamed. You hear, they
Mm-hmm.
want to be Western. That's why they're saying that they want to do a small wedding. They don't want to have
Mm-hmm.
family involved. Or
Mm-hmm.
you hear,
Mm-hmm.
they said that they want to go in search of their happiness. Who do they think? Oh, they think they're now white people. And we make those kind of comments amongst ourselves as Black people. We use it
Mm-hmm.
to disparage other people with the choices that they make. And those are the things that amuse me, but also annoy me when I say this is what I want for myself, and someone categorically tells me
Tells
no,
me
you
you can't
can't,
do that.
you can't
Yes.
want that for yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. And I'm like,
For no
but
other
who are you
reason
now? Who are
than
you
for being a
now?
woman. As in, for no other reason, not as if you
Yes.
can't want it because you are incapable or you are financially, you can't have those things right now. No, it is because you are a woman. If you were a man
Hmm.
under the same circumstances, it would be okay to aspire
Yeah.
to those things. And that
No,
that
they
is,
decline men
well,
these days. Oh, there are some men too that want to be rogue. They correct them too.
for me, the thing about society, and society has a way of keeping of checks and balances, and gossip is one of them. If you are a sociologist, it is one of the ways in which society curbs excesses and
Hmm.
things like that. So it keeps people in check. So gossip is not a bad thing. It's just for you to understand what this society or the norms of
Somebody's
a
clapping.
particular society requires. Then the issue of allowing people be what they want to be, I think it's okay within some parameters. For instance, now I do accept. I'm when you said everybody said accept believe that marriage isn't for everybody. No, I actually do think marriage can be for everyone. Marriage should be for
Okay.
everyone. I just think that you should be able to structure the kind
Marriage
of
the way
marriage
that it
that
works for you.
fits you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I think. I do not think that the way we have structured marriage works for everyone all the time. I think, and then even within this present structure, you should be able to, you know, color it the
Adapt.
way you want to color it. Yes, you should be able to color it and then color it differently
Because I must
But
when
admit,
you
the
think you want to
issue
change the
is,
colors.
where does your desire to adapt it to what works for you come against the law? Because, like in the UK, a man might decide that, you know what, having multiple wives is what works for me. I can't live with one woman. And he will meet some women who are like, you know what, having one man and multiples of us works for us. We don't want to be just one man to one. We don't need that amount of attention. But in this country, it's illegal. You
It
can
is
go to
illegal
jail
for you
for
to
it.
marry more than one wife, but it's not illegal for
Yes.
you to have more than one partner. So I
No, it's
think you can
illegal for
marry
you to
one
have
wife and
marry more
have,
than one wife. But if every
yes, so I
wife,
think you
if
can
every
marry.
woman is like, I want to be a wife, I want to be married, then
No, there are definitely women who do not want to be in that particular relationship at that time. For instance, now you can have a partner who is known to your wife, and this is your whatever on the side, and she
side
totally
chick.
accepts it. Now that lady may not be require a legal marriage at that time, so that when she requires a legal marriage, she can opt out of that relationship and go into her legal marriage. I mean, I'm just saying that there are different ways of bending the rules a bit, depending on what you require at the time. But those are extreme and
Okay, well,
you
I think we
very.
have we
But
have
then
discussed this.
this allows society to have topics to gossip about, you know. So it's like,
Yes, of course.
that's woman
Exactly.
our
Of
side
course.
chick. Oh.
And from what we learned from the sociologist, gossip is good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Gossip is
we have
not
learned
all
that
bad.
gossip is good, and
It has
that,
its relevance.
Again,
To
we
say
can
it's
work
good,
things
it's
out
extreme. It has
too.
its relevance.
And
So
always yield
basically,
yourself.
society should not mind their business.
No, always
No,
yield yourself.
no, they
Give them
shouldn't.
a
Guys,
story.
I'm trying to end the show.
Why you want end down?
The show refused to end. Now we are still live.
Give them juicy things to gossip about. I'm always available. Like, oh, okay, so fine. Enjoy distracting me. Let the gossipers go off on a tangent so that I can feel focused on the thing where I want to talk. You see, they now have a topic they can go and discuss after. Who is the ex-girl? Who is the person? I think it's this person. I think it's the one that sent granite. No, I think it's the one that is. I think the one with 5 personalities inside.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I think
you guys hang about don't go. PK Tabdu. You guys hang about don't go. But I'm going to end the show now. Thank you so much for coming, and of course, chipping in, and really we've discussed this in such a way that everyone can find something to pick. And I hope that people who have been watching have actually learned a lot, and they also have their thoughts. And whatever thoughts you have, please share it with us. Either on Facebook or on YouTube. We'll be very happy to hear them and discuss them with you. Well, till we do this again, same time next week. And honestly, in a couple of weeks, a very, very interesting topic with someone who can give us all the right information is coming up, and I'm so excited about it. But I'm going to keep it to myself for a little bit more. But see you next week.
So we will be there. We know they give right information, eh?
Thank you.
Now see finish. Now they worry you so.
Don't go anywhere. Just stay. Don't go anywhere.